Good morning. Recently, I talked a little bit about the sovereignty of God, and I wanted to kind of add to that a little bit here, just in regards to the things that we face in life. I was listening to a sermon, and I'm blanking on the name of the pastor right now, but he was built a great church numerically and spiritually, I believe, and had schools and he's in probably the age group. He'd have been in heaven at least 20 years by now. But and I'll think John Rollins was his name, and he was talking about, he's very well known, very solid, just a great preacher. But he was talking about some battles that they faced, and you know, none of us like battles, and yet battles are such a tool in the hand of God. And battles are assumed when you consider the promises. John 16:33, in the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. And Peter writes about the same afflictions are accomplishing your brethren that are in the world. This world is not our home. This world is not our friend. We've got the world, the flesh, and the devil. The devil, we know about his attacks, but the flesh, that's just my old selfish, greedy, bitter, poochy lipped, my old flesh that just likes to be lazy, or likes to get attention, or likes to be praised, or likes to have recreation more than work, or whatever it might be. And then the world, it's this world system. It's not just volcanoes and earthquakes and flooding, which it is that, but it's the whole world system. Why have we seen such compromise in the government? And you know, we bring in people who we think are going to fix things, and then it doesn't get fixed. Why do we see that? It's the world. It's the world system. This world around us, it's a mess. It's an evil mess. It's an institution designed by men, and by nature it's corrupt, because you've got men in it that are doing everything involved, and men are corrupt. And so we must learn to go through life dealing with trials, and we need to know how to mentally to face those things. Where Peter says, gird up the loins of your mind. Gird your, like to gird up your clothing. You're going into battle. You cinch up everything, make it tight. All right, gird up the loins of your mind. Get your mind under control and get your thinking right, because we're going to face trials, and I think we do our children no favor making their life easy growing up. I think we need to teach our children to face hardships, difficulties, broken hearts, loneliness, injustice. And as our kids grow up, they'll be better. They'll be better spiritually when they've learned to do those things physically. With that in mind, I wanted to read just a couple paragraphs about a couple of great missionaries. David Brainerd was a wonderful man. You read his biography from his college years, and as a young man, he died young. He never did get very old. He died at 29. But David Brainerd was such a godly man, and his life, and many times some of these Protestant leaders, their biography is worth reading for their character and for their discipline and their you don't want to read their theology, because they're off many of them are off on theology, but you can trust, you can be challenged and encouraged by their character, their love for the Bible, and their devotion to their faith and on. So David Brainerd, his father died when he was 9. His mother died 5 years later. And so at 14, David Brainerd was an orphan. He became a missionary to the American Indians, evangelized Seneca, Susquehanna, and Delaware tribes. His famed diary has provoked many to go to the mission field. His diary is in print today, and I mentioned that. It's a great book. It's a rich book. It'll convict you. He was in love with Jonathan Edwards' daughter, Jerusha, and he came home so sick he would go out and do crazy things and exposed to the elements, and he wouldn't have houses and protection, and he'd sleep in the snow, and came back to the Edwards home so sick with tuberculosis that he wasn't. Jerusha nursed him till he died, and then she died just shortly thereafter. And but at 29 years old, David Brainerd's life ended. But the point is, you're talking about, and I'm blanking on the date here. He didn't put this is Brother Mike Ray's book, 1700s, and I can't tell you exactly when off the top of my head, But this is early American history, and David Brainerd, when Delaware was the Indians, they are reaching west to the Delaware Indians. This is very early on in our country. Hardships and difficulties, but greatness can come out of hardships. Don't allow hardships to rob you of the things God could use you to do. Then William Carey, 1761, he was born. He began as a shoe cobbler, went on to do the most amazing things, was the founder of Baptist Foreign Missions. One of his wives died after having a mental breakdown. He married again. She became a lifelong invalid. He sailed for India. He was there 40 years. He labored 6 years before his first convert, translated portions of the Bible into 44 dialects. He began a college while there. He referred to himself as a plodder, just somebody who kept on going. Through his efforts, the widow burning was outlawed. Some of his last words were, "When I'm gone, say nothing about Dr. Carey, but speak of Dr. Carey's Savior." His oldest son, Felix, became a missionary to Burma. William Carey was credited with the statement, "Attempt great things for God, expect great things from God." William Carey had no lack of difficulties and trials. 6 years laboring and just battle after battle. But Carey, you read those similar stories from Judson, Adoniram Judson, and so many great missionaries. These people were breaking down the spiritual darkness. They were the walls of spiritual evil. Those walls that were there, they were breaking those things down with slow, steady prayer, witnessing, preaching, and then great efforts, great results came from their efforts later on. And I just want to encourage you, don't let your trials rob you of the great things God can do through trials. I wanted to read just one verse here in Ecclesiastes, and I'll mention some others as well. But in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, he says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Don't get looking. Envy not the wicked, the Bible says, in multiple words and different sentences, but over and over the Bible. Don't look at the wicked and, why do the wicked prosper when the righteous suffer? Oh, you don't know. You have no idea. You don't know the long-term results. You don't know the whole picture around the world. All you know is your little tiny picture, and our picture is so small we know nothing. There's a reason there's multiple referees on a ball field, and that football game starts up, and there's referees from all angles, and then they get together and talk over what they saw. Because my angle, it may look like this, and your angle may look like something totally different. We got to get a third angle, or sometimes a fourth angle. And then, of course, nowadays they refer to the camera angle and see if they could get a better example. So God has the perfect view of all the events, not only today, but yesterday and tomorrow, and we can trust him. And in Ecclesiastes, there's a lot of confusion verses in here, but this one's not. I know it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Could I just encourage you today? It will be well. Over in Psalms 115 verse 13. If I can find Psalm 115, it's one of those real short chapters. 115:13. Psalm 115 verse 13. He will bless them that fear the Lord, both small and great. He will bless them that fear the Lord, small and great. Could I encourage you, fear God. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, we read in the scriptures. To look at a trial and then get angry at God is very foolish. But some people, they're a little more spiritual, so they won't get mad at God. They'll get mad at the authority, whether it be the pastor, the parents, the law enforcement, the government, whatever, and their anger toward God. And I may do a whole lesson on this, but I've known over these years people who got mad at me or got mad at their parents, young adults, got mad at their parents, and all we are is the ones representing the truth of the Bible. But these young people, or adults, they're decent enough Christians. They don't want to yell at God, although some people do, but these won't. So they will yell at the one that brings the message from God. Look, take that trial and submit to it. Say, God, I don't know why you're doing this, but I know you're in charge. And this says it will be well with them that fear God. And you just keep, God, I fear you too much to challenge you. And I don't like where I am. And I'm miserable. I'm hurting. I'm in the hospital. I'm watching my child or my spouse suffer. But I know this, you're good. Remember Job? His wife said, why don't you curse God and die? So much had gone wrong. And he said, shall we receive good at the hand of the Lord and not evil also? That was the first time that he was attacked so viciously. Then the second time, he said to his wife, you talk like a foolish woman. And we ought to be so very guarded about this thing. It says of Job, in all this he sinned not. I just happened to be reading Job this morning, but here as we look at these passages, could I just encourage you, when the trials come, fear God, love Him, draw near to Him, like you would to hug a parent's leg when you're a little child, and you don't understand all that's going on, but you know there's security there. Even if your parent's angry and if your parent disciplines you, there's safety there, clinging to your parent. And so he says there in Psalm 115:13, he will bless them that fear the Lord. If you go to Psalms 112, verse 1, praise ye the Lord, blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. There are blessings. There are blessings on those who fear God and keep his commandments. So read a couple more verses in this Psalm 112. Verse 2, his seed shall be mighty upon the earth. Verse 3, wealth and riches shall be in his house. Verse 6, surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. Verse 7, he shall not be afraid of the evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. Verse 8, his heart is established. He shall not be afraid. Psalm 112 is worth memorizing. Just some great principles there. But again, draw near to God and trust God, knowing that God knows what's going on, knowing that God has a plan bigger. I talked about Romans 8:28 the other day and talked about God has a plan bigger than we know. And Daniel and Esther and Nehemiah and Naaman's handmaid. God has plans in all these things, in these circumstances that we don't understand, in these battles. But trust him, cling to God. Now, don't be stupid. You get drunk, you go out and drive, and you run into a telephone pole. Don't ask him to heal your car. But if we feared God enough to try, to seek to honor him, to seek to obey him, to rest in him, if we would just long after God and fear him. I don't want to offend God. I don't want to hurt God. Before I started here just now, I said, God, help me know what to do. Help me know there's too many things to do and only so much time. Help me know, Lord. Help me, Lord, to know what to do next. Help me know what the priorities are. And if you haven't thought about it, I'm going to encourage you to pray for my knee surgery and my knee recovery. The surgery is probably, I know there's no minor surgery, but this doctor does these multiple times a week. And I'm not worried about the surgery. I'm not really worried about any of it. But I do know my recovery from surgery last time was pretty fast. And the right physical therapists and the right whatever. And maybe I've heard horror stories of physical therapists. The people doing physical therapy with me said, let pain be your guide. If it hurts, stop it. And I thought, yes, I like that kind of talk. Talk to me more like that. But if you think to pray for my knee recovery, and again, my motive is that I could be efficient for God, that I could do more. I'd like to be a good husband. I'd like to be a good pastor. I'd like to be a good friend. I'd like to be a good father. As far as stuff and things, if God would be more glorified through me having a horrible recovery, then give me grace to walk through a horrible recovery time. I know one man many years ago when they not first started, but probably 30 years ago, so that was much more primitive, we'll say. He had his knees replaced, or one of them. And I said, so how is it? He said, well, it's strong enough. It'll do anything. He said, but it hurts so bad I can't do anything. So I don't know any details about it. That's just what he had said. But my right knee has not been that way. And if God reminds you to pray for me. I'd like to be up and running. I'd like to be in the pulpit. I'd like to be, like this year, missing camp and missing a lot of things that are going on. around our church during my recovery time. There's a couple of conferences I'd like to be at to see our college students. And it's too close to surgery. The doctor doesn't want me to fly for 3 months after the surgery because of somehow the elevation is tied to blood clots. But all that to say, God knows. He knows exactly where I should be, when I should be, what I should be. I've prayed. I want to do things right in the right timing and all. And if in the midst of all this, God sees fit to rearrange my plans, He's the one, He knows best. He really, really does know best. Let me show you one more verse over in Psalm 37. I want to encourage you, draw near to God. If you can't see it really, but in this, the yellow, I marked yellow as promise verses, and in Psalm 37, it's filled with so many. But Psalm 37, verse 4, most of you could probably quote this: "Delight thyself also in the Lord, He shall give thee the desires of thine heart." There's a great promise. Just delight in God. Just delight in Him, and love His book, and love His house, and love His people, and love the preaching of His word. I walked in the office today, and down the end of the hallway, I heard one of our staff men. He was listening to Dr. Jack Hiles preaching. Brother Hiles been gone to heaven 20 plus years ago, but we need preaching. We as the staff, we need preaching. I was listening, I mentioned earlier, to John Rollins, that listened to him this morning. I listened to preaching. I need preached at. I need encouraged. I need challenged. Psalm 37, verse 17, "For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous." I love it. God's going to hold you up. "The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever." Your inheritance on earth may be small, but your inheritance in heaven is forever. What a good promise. Verse 19, "They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied." God is going to feed you. God's going to take care of you. I love verse 25, "I've been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." God will take care of you. I could hear Lester Roloff singing, "Be not dismayed, whate'er betide." God will take care of you. "Beneath His wings of love abide." God will take care of you. My wife, I'd be playing Lester Roloff. My wife says, "He has a terrible voice. How can you listen to him?" I think, I love to hear Lester Roloff sing because it's him. It may not be the quality of his voice, but it's the quality of his life behind the voice. But oh, God will take care of you, and God will see you through, and God will be your comfort, and God will be your encouragement. We have a wonderful God. He deserves to be trusted, even when days are dark, even when there are times of struggle, because He's worthy of our trust. Trust in God when everything's good. See, that's what the devil told Job there at the beginning. God said, "What do you think of Job?" He said, "Well, you take such good care of him. Of course He loves you." He said, "Take your hand off him and see how he loves you. He'll curse you to your face." God said, "Go ahead, just don't touch his body." Job's kids die, all of his wealth gone, all of his servants gone, all of his animals, livestock, but as broke as could be and brokenhearted. And it says, "The Lord gave and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Now that's something the Lord could slap the devil across the side of the head with. And there's some burdens we're going to face, but God promises to be with you. He promises to sustain you. He promises to bless you. You can trust God no matter what the circumstances are. And I just want to encourage you today, just keep on trusting the Lord. There's a song, as we walk along, I just keep trusting my Lord, and He gives a song, though the dark clouds, I can't do it without singing it, and I don't want to sing this morning, but I can trust Him. You can trust Him. He's a wonderful God. And like this song is just popping into my head. Get familiar with Christian hymns. Get a hymnal. Go to a thrift store, and you'll find one of the books on the shelf with the books. Get a hymnal and just read through hymns and find a couple of them and make them yours. Memorize them. I remember years ago, I've still never heard the song sung by anybody, but I remember finding a hymn in an old hymnal, and it says, "The mercy of God is an ocean divine, a boundless and fathomless flood. Launch out in the deep, push away the shoreline, and be lost in the fullness of God." And it goes on to talk about people clinging too near the shore, and the shore is where you get beat up by the waves. Safety is launching out. Safety is out in the deep water. And it's a great hymn. I never heard the tune, no idea what it is, but I think about it. Let's just launch out and let's trust him. Trust him today. He'll look after you.